Hi everyone, this is Jim out here at Lake Erie Woodturner. Hey, I've turned some of this right here into this. A 4-inch sphere with 226 pieces of wood glued together and turned. Beautiful. Stick around, I'll show you how I made it. Okay, what we've got here is we've got the rings all glued up and still in the clamps. What we're going to do here shortly is I'm going to take all of these clamps off. We're going to get them in the drum sander and get these nice and smooth. Take all it so baby butt smooth. But I got these rings sanded down, and now I'm going to put them on the slicer. I'm going to slice these things in half, 1/4 inch on each side, and then I'll run them through the sander again. We'll see you at the bandsaw. I've got, this is my favorite glue gun. It's a Gorilla Glue, it's dual temp, and it's gone through a lot of glue sticks. I would recommend this. I think I got this at Amazon, 30 bucks maybe, something like that, 20 bucks. And I just put a little glue on the side here, let it warm up real good. And then I just put a little glue on 3 spots here on the top, and then down there at the bottom, and then let it cool down. Yeah, it might not be quite hot enough yet. Okay, here it is set up on the bandsaw. I've got it set up, and as you can see, it's a simple MDF jig that just straddles the fence. Just straddles the fence of the bandsaw. Here's the back side of it, the non-working side. And here's the working side. And what we'll do is we will get you in there, and you'll see the entire operation of the cut of the ring. Just slicing this baby in half, we'll make I'm thinking 14, 15 rings. So stick around. Okay, I have reduced the video because I've got the bandsaw right up here, plus right behind me I've got the dust collector on. I'm fast forwarded cutting through these rings, and about halfway through, a 3/4 inch piece, and I will take them through the drum sander here after I get these cut. and I won't show any of that, but I'm taking both sides exactly parallel to each other and exactly to a quarter of an inch. Now here you see I've got four pieces glued up, the top and the bottom. I've got, and I'll show you this ring right here. It's it, they're all quarter inch. And one thing that I have to remember to do is make sure I get these rings exactly the way they are supposed to be on the project. As a weight, when I glue those on, I use some of my uh, uh, chucks for gluing up. As you can see, the four pieces right there, the four rings are. Uh, I'm about ready to put those in and uh, turn the inside. All of the inside of the segments are turned to take relieve some of the weight and the uh, just because I know it's turned on the inside and it looks gonna look better. Once I get the uh, three or four rings glued up, I put several of them on top of each other and continue to clamp them down. And I have a 25 pound, 20 or 25 pound uh, ball weight thing, and that seems to work out good. Now they're tacked up, and now they won't slide, which I tried that before I put the chucks on there, and it just a little bit too much weight, and they kind of slid out of alignment. So now it's uh, pretty stable, and I continue to let this set for about an hour or so, and then I feel better about the quality of my glue lines. After I get those stacks glued up, and I feel comfortable that they're uh, firmed up enough to put on the lathe, I get the wood chuck right there, and then I glue the like right here is the four rings, and I glued it onto the its partial glue block and the end of the turning. This is wingy, got one for each end, and now I'll start building my vessel, or in this case, the sphere. I cut a 1 inch mortise into each end so I can turn the inside of the sphere and relieve some of the weight. And it'll be on the other side just like that, with all the other ones in between. Once I glue the stacks up to each other, I'll glue them in half, and then I'll turn each half, the inside of each half, and then I'll glue the two halves together. Okay, what we got now is I've got the two halves um, glued together, got the inside turned, and I mean, I didn't have to turn the inside, but I like that better because um, it just looks better, and I feel better that I've got the inside nice. Plus, it takes away some of the weight off of the sphere. Okay, we're going to get this glued together, and I just might put a little note in here inside. Nobody will ever see it unless this thing breaks or they cut it in half or whatever. But I'm just going to put a little note, kind of like when we were kids uh, out there on the beach. You get a bottle and put the cap on it, put a little note in it. Little did I know that, hell, we didn't have cell phones back then. How are they supposed to get a hold of you? So anyways, put a little note in here, and then we're going to start turning. I'm going to glue this up, and I'm going to let it set till tomorrow, I think. Hey, I've got this back on. Got those both halves glued together, and I started turning this without even thinking about turning the camera on. So what I have to do is I have to get the diameter of what the current, got to come down just a little bit more, but we'll take it down. Get my trusty little bowl gouge out here. Take off some of this corners. Okay, got that pretty well rounded. I know I've got a lot of work to do on the ends here, so I'll get this put in between the centers, the cup centers that I've got made for this. It's just a little piece of scrap maple, and I made it to fit, just barely fit in the chuck, and hollowed this out. And I just put this up here like that. Get a little bit of, this is shelf material stuff, and put that like that, get that, make sure it's centered on the line. And I got another one here, and this is hollowed out, and this goes over 5 center, and this goes in the tailstock, and it clamps down pretty good. I've done a couple of them, and the only thing is this right here is, I'm not sure, I've got to have something different, maybe a piece of leather or something to put here, because on the one I just got done with this morning, it made a little indent, but that one, it really doesn't make a whole lot of difference, because I had to, I did some beading on it, and try not too much. Don't want to put too much pressure on it, because remember, this is hollow inside. So if I get too much, it's gonna crack, might crack some of these rings. So and I'm going to take it back just a little bit, and once this starts spinning, we'll be able to see the ghost image of these two, or I'll be able to see it anyways. And I wish I had a better position for this camera. Okay, yep, you can see that a little bit. You can see that. Let me get a piece of paper. See the shadow up at the top? That's the ghost image of what I'm going to cut off. So Too big a bite. Too big a bite. That, I'll go down below that anyways. But gotta watch it. Watch it, Jim. Now I'm just letting my skew take off just a little bit of that that ghosting at a time. I see I've got to do quite a bit in here yet, and then I'll turn quite a bit in here. Okay, I didn't realize that we had run out of room on the card, so I'm not sure how much we missed, but I've got this almost rounded. I've got to go back and forth a couple times, and then I got to sand it, but it's looking pretty good right now. A little bit right there, but I'm going to get this turned around and return it, and then we'll sand her all over again. Yes, sir. She's looking good. I'll have to wax this baby here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand this, and then I'm going to turn it around, cut this top again, and sand that, and we'll be done. And I'm going to have to shut you guys down because that sander is the vacuum. I got to move my camera to get the vacuum in here. And so I will come back when everything is sanded up and show you before I put the finish on. Still haven't figured out what finish I'm going to put on here yet, though. But she's looking good. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is for the challenge. It's actually this weekend, this coming weekend. Today's Sunday and it's Saturday, so I got to have it done Friday. And which I think it's doable. I might put shellac on there, or rattle can lacquer, one of the two. That'll shine it up real nice. But I got to get this thing sanded down, and I'll take it from 80 to, because I got a little bit of, well, I did have, I'm not sure. I had some tear out when I was the other way. I might have got that out now. But, so I'm going to sand it down, and we will see you when it gets ready for finish. Thanks for sticking around while we do this project. It is now finished and ready to take to the monthly meeting of the woodworker, local woodworking meeting. This sphere ended up being just under 4 inches in diameter and 226 pieces of wood, as you saw me cut them. I cheated a little bit by slicing the rings in half, but ultimately ended up 226 pieces, including the top and the bottom wingy pieces. This was fun to make. I put several coats of rattle can lacquer on it, and it's pretty smooth. It's not as shiny as I'd like it, but I'm still got a few coats. I'm going to sand it down or steel wool it down a little bit, and I've just got a few coats on it. And for not doing any spheres at all, I think it turned out pretty good. This is my second attempt at a sphere. My first attempt is sitting over on the desk, over on the workbench, and this is my second attempt at a sphere. This was cut with no jig, just by hand, and let me know what you think. This is Jim, the Lake Erie Woodturner, and hey, keep those lathes turning, will you? Show me what you're making. Share it with us on YouTube, and it's always exciting to get into the shop. Have a great one. Keep those shavings a-flying. Later.